Hello and welcome to Comic Origins. Today we are looking at the origins of Ted Kord, the second Blue Beetle. Earth 4 Ted Kord. Ted made his first appearance in 1966 Captain Atom Volume 1 Issue 83 from Charlton Comics. Here we see Ted in his giant robot beetle, the Bug. He used it to track down the killer Coke gang who robbed the bank earlier. In Issue 2 we learn more about him, that he has a business called Kord Industry and he has an assistant named Tracy. There is also a detective named Fisher that suspects that Ted has something to do with the murder of Dan Garrett, the original Blue Beetle. In 1967 Blue Beetle Volume 5 Issue 2 Ted on patrol sees Tracy exploring Pogo Island, hoping to find out what happened to Dan and clear Ted's name. Ted reveals that he is the Blue Beetle and tells her what happened. Ted's uncle Jarvis asks him to help him with his experiments. After a lab explosion that seemed to kill Jarvis, Ted discovered that his uncle was working on robots to take over the world. So Ted went to his old college friend Dan Garrett. They track him down to Pogo Island when they were attacked by the robots. Dan was forced to transform into the Blue Beetle to save them. Later Jarvis overloaded the robots, causing a feedback that destroyed the robot and seemingly himself. Sadly, the feedback hits Dan, causing a fatal injury, so in his dying words Dan made Ted promise him to keep his secret and carry on as the new Blue Beetle. But before Dan could give the scarab, the thing that gives Dan his powers, the area that they were at collapsed. Later Charlton Comics went out of business and they licensed out the character to AC Comics. In 1983 Americomics Issue 3 Ted Kord Blue Beetle fights Dan Garrett the Blue Beetle. It's later revealed that it was a fake Dan Garrett robot that was soon destroyed by the Bug. Later in Americomics Special Issue 1 Ted teams up with other superheroes, Captain Atom, Nightshade and the Question to form the group called the Sentinels of Justice. This group didn't last long because in 1985 DC Comics Crisis on Infinite Earths happened. But before this version of Ted was erased, he alongside the Question and Captain Atom and Hub City was taken by Brainiac and Tellus in 2015 Convergence. Blue Beetle Volume 1 Issue 1 during the Convergence event. Equipment. Because Ted never got the scarab, he invented his own equipment like the Bug and his gun. New Earth Ted Kord. After the crisis on Infinite Earth, Earth 4 was merged with other Earths to form New Earth. This version of Ted made his first appearance in 1986 Secret Origins Volume 2 Issue 2. He has the same origin as his Earth 4 counterpart. Ted is in charge of Kord Omniversal Research and Development with his secretary Angie, chemist Duncan, and his girlfriend Melody. In 1986 Blue Beetle Volume 6 Issue 5-7 he teams up with this Earth, the Question. In another crossover in Issue 11-13 he teams up with the new Teen Titans, but this crossover ended up with one of his friends becoming evil. In Issue 17 Dan Garrett was brought back to life with the power of the scarab and went mad. In the next issue Ted was forced to fight Dan. He was able to take the scarab away from Dan and find out the scarab is a parasite. Later Dan gets his memories and fights off the scarab control, causing it to shatter but also killing him. In the last issue he lost his company. Back in Issue 9 and 10 during the Legends event. The foundation of a new Justice League was made called Justice League International. Here Ted meets his best friend Booster Gold thanks to a person named Maxwell Lord who took interest in the team and suggested that Booster become a team member. Later, in a crossover with Justice League Europe, in 1991 Justice League Issue 53 to Issue 60 the team was shut down and became the Justice League of America. In 1992 Justice League America Issue 69 Ted was the first person to fight Doomsday. This ended up with him in a coma in the Death of Superman event. In 1994 Justice League America Issue 91 after the death of Ice Ted Kord joined a new group of the Justice League team, Extreme Justice. In 1999, Living Assault Weapons Volume 1 Issue 1, or Law for short, he and the other Charlton heroes teamed up. He later shows up in Bird of Prey Volume 1 Issue 2, where he becomes a supporting character until Issue 39, where he finds out he has a degenerative heart disease. Ted made his last appearance in 2005 Countdown to Infinite Crisis Volume 1 Issue 1. Here Ted investigates a conspiracy which no one believes him. This causes him to get attacked and have Booster Gold badly hurt when he helps Ted. This tempted Ted to use the scarab, which was found by Hawkman, who gave it to him. This leads him to the wizard Shazam, who takes it from him. All alone, Ted tracks Thing down to a castle where he finds the mastermind behind it, Maxwell Lord. Ted tries to escape but gets captured. Max tries to get him to join him, but Ted refuses, causing him to shoot him in the head, killing the Blue Beetle. Prime Earth Ted Kord. This version of Ted Kord made his first appearance in 2014 Forever Evil Issue 7. At the end of Forever Evil, Lex Luthor offered to mentor Ted for running Kord Industry. In a flashback in 2017 Blue Beetle Volume 9 Issue 4, Ted makes a high-tech suit to become a superhero, but can't come up with a name after a run-in with Dan Garrett and seeing a blue scarab that he found. Ted took up the name Blue Beetle. In 2022 Blue and Gold Volume 1 Issue 4, Ted and Booster Gold tell how they met. As of now, Ted Kord is a supporting character to the latest Blue Beetle Jamie Reyes. Other media appearances. Ted Kord appears in Batman the Brave and the Bold, Smallville, a DCAU comic, Scribblenauts, Unmasked, Injustice comic, and DC Superhero Girls. That's the end of the video. Did you like it? Was there anything I got wrong? Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to. Goodbye and have a nice day.